love essential oils, you may want to rush out and go and purchase as many of them as you can, especially if you're just discovering these oils for the first time. But not all oils are created equal, and some oils can actually contain harmful substances. So how can you know whether the essential oils you're purchasing are of good quality and whether they are actually going to do what you think they're going to do, and also how to avoid oils that may actually be fake essential oils? So here are 7 things to look out for if you are going out shopping for essential oils and you have no idea where to start. These 7 things are vitally important to look out for to make sure that you're not wasting your money on expensive oils unnecessarily, but also to make sure that you're not buying oils that could actually be harmful to your health. The first thing is the packaging. Essential oils typically should be in opaque, so not see-through, glass bottles. If your essential oils are in plastic bottles, or if they are in see-through bottles, whether that is glass or plastic, don't buy those essential oils. Essential oils are really the oils that are extracted from plants, and they are extremely concentrated and highly volatile, which means that they're quite sensitive to things like light and exposure to air. So essential oils will actually evaporate into the air, which is why you should never leave your essential oil bottles open, and it's also why you can easily diffuse essential oils in a diffuser. But one of the other characteristics of essential oils is that they're extremely sensitive to light. And so if your essential oil bottles don't protect the oils from the light by being opaque or not see-through, then this is going to impair the quality of the oils. It's also important to remember that essential oils, because of how concentrated they can actually leach out into plastic. And so the potency of the essential oils can actually cause the chemicals from the plastic to leach and absorb into the oils themselves. So you may be applying your essential oils, but your essential oils may be tainted or contaminated with the chemicals that are contained in the plastic that the essential oils came in. So never buy essential oils in plastic containers, and make sure that the glass bottles that are containing the essential oils are not see-through. Second, look out for the labeling of your essential oils. Typically, you will find essential oils that state that they're 100% pure and they're certified therapeutic grade. So therapeutic grade essential oils are not actually a real thing. It doesn't exist. It's not a real, genuine way to label essential oils. But certain companies will label their oils that they are certified therapeutic grade, and this may actually cause you to have too much confidence in the brand, because it sounds like a nice fancy thing that they're certified therapeutic grade, but it actually doesn't mean much. So what are some of the things that you should be looking out for on the label? Well, you have to make sure that the essential oil is labeled with its general name, but also that the Latin name is included as part of the way that the essential oil is labeled. So in other words, your essential oil can say lavender, but it should also include the Latin name, for example, lavender angustifolia. And so this is one way of quickly checking to see if the essential oil that is claimed to be in the bottle is really coming from a plant, and making sure that it's not actually just fragrance oil or some kind of diluted oil that may contain a bit of essential oil but may contain other things. So look out for the Latin name when you are looking at the labels of your essential oils. The third thing is to look out for other ingredients that may be listed on the bottle. So typically, unless you're buying a blend of essential oils, which would typically contain a few different essential oils mixed together, there actually shouldn't be any other ingredients on an essential oil bottle. In other words, what you want is pure essential oil. So if they're extracting the oil from the lavender plant, you only want lavender inside that essential oil bottle. And so if your essential oil is labeling or listing certain ingredients on the label, then this is a sign that the essential oil has in fact been mixed with or diluted with other ingredients. And so it's really not pure essential oil in the bottle. Next is the smell of the essential oil. Now, this may take a little bit of time to get used to, and it's going to take experimenting with different oils over a period of time for you to actually tune in this chick. And so essentially, when you are smelling essential oils, they have a really natural, really non-synthetic smell to them. But certain oils, because of the fact that they're not true, genuine, pure essential oils, they actually smell synthetic. They don't smell like anything that you've ever smelled before. And so looking out for the way essential oils smell is something that you will begin to get better at as you gain more experience. But just get into the habit of smelling essential oils and really tuning into how the oils smell for you. You soon will begin to determine whether it really is an essential oil that you're smelling or whether it is a synthetic, processed, chemically engineered oil that may contain some essential oil but really is a synthetic product. The next thing to look out for is the cost. Now, when we speak about cost, this is a bit of a touchy subject because we begin to get into the realm of talking about MLMs or multi-level marketing companies that generally tend to add a significant markup to their oils. And so this can really inflate the cost of oils that are available via MLMs. And this is not to knock or bash any MLMs out there, but generally speaking, people who buy into the MLM model of essential oils will knock essential oils that can be purchased at the drugstore. And sometimes this is valid because there are some essential oils that really are just synthetic and adulterated with chemicals and may even contain some of the chemicals that were used in the extraction process. So they may be contaminated. So there may be some truth to that because not all essential oils are pure. But it's not necessary to pay these extremely inflated prices for essential oils. But on the other hand, essential oils are not cheap. So it's extremely resource intensive to be able to extract essential oils from plants. It takes a lot of plant material to get a small amount of oil out. And the methods of extraction are expensive to run. And these oils often are, the plants that the oils are extracted from are often coming from farms that use organic farming, and the labor costs can just add up very quickly. So while it's not necessary to be spending a huge amount of money unnecessarily to purchase essential oils, because remember, with the MLM model, there is a middleman that also needs to get paid. And so as a result, there may be this, there typically is this inflation of the price of the essential oils. But if the essential oils are very cheap, then this is a sign that they're not actually pure essential oils. So this will vary from place to place, country to country, brand to brand. But if you go out there and look at the market and look at what is available, it's typical that the oils that are way on the cheap end of the spectrum are probably not going to be the pure version of that essential oil. And it's more likely that they've been diluted or mixed with other oils like carrier oils to kind of bulk up the volume so that they can keep the costs down. And then next, there are some tests that you can actually do. So if you purchase essential oils or if you have essential oils at home, Then I have 2 tests that you can do to see if your essential oils have been mixed with anything. So there are 2 tests that you can do that can tell you whether your essential oils are pure or whether they've been mixed with something else. So the first test is to put your bottle of essential oil in the freezer. So oil will not freeze. And if your essential oil is in the freezer and it freezes, then this is a sign that your essential oil has been mixed with something like a water-based solution, because it really shouldn't be freezing when placed in the freezer. So the water test, or the test to see if there's any like water-based solution mixed with your essential oil, is one of the tests that you can do. And I typically will, if I'm buying a new essential oil brand for the first time, I'll pop the bottle in the freezer overnight, and then by the next morning have a look and see if the essential oil has frozen. So that's one test that you can do to make sure that your essential oil hasn't been mixed with anything. But the final tip that I have for you, and this is my favorite way to check to make sure that the essential oil that I have is pure and that it's not fake and that it hasn't been mixed with anything, is the paper test. And so just placing 1 drop of essential oil on a piece of white paper and allowing it to dry to see if there's any oily residue that gets left behind. Now, depending on the type of essential oil that you are using, you may see on the piece of paper, once the essential oil has fully evaporated and dried, you may see that there is a bit of a tinge left on the paper. And this may be as a result of the pigment or the color that has been extracted from the plant and that has ended up in the oil. So you're not looking at the color of the paper afterwards. You're looking for a sign that there is oily residue left behind on the paper. In other words, that the paper doesn't look like it's completely dry. You know what cooking oil looks like on paper. If you don't know, then you can put a drop of cooking oil on as a reference point to be able to compare to your essential oil. But typically, essential oils will evaporate completely from the paper and only leave behind a bit of pigment if the oil was pigmented. But oils that have been mixed with other oils, like carrier oils, and that have been diluted or adulterated, will leave behind an oily residue. And so this is another way that you can determine whether your oil is a real essential oil or whether it is something like a fragrance oil or some other synthetic essential oil.